Line is all frayed, that needs replaced. Your blocks are weathered and chalky, they all need replaced. Your turning blocks, they're in bad shape. Your snatch blocks, well, you don't really have snatch blocks, but see, that's what they do is they take your halyard, it's my first day selling boats. You take your sheet, run your sheet through there and bring it back up to the winch. That's why you were having problems, because your angle. Sheets are all old and weathered. I mean, you look at your main sheet purchase right there. I mean, that thing is in really bad shape. That is the Traveler,
okay,
and that's the car and the stops.
Okay.
Let's get this off here. Stainless steel needs oxygen, and you can see down here where this is all corroded right here.
Right.
And this is actually bad for this. So when you get ownership of the boat, take a wire brush, clean this up. These should be spread out a little bit more. It's toggled out. Oh boy. You're pulling this back 1 inch off the center. You don't want a guitar string tight, okay? But you don't want it real loose. And again, you got ample adjustment here. The threads look good. I don't really see a problem here. There's no cracking in the swedgings here. I've already checked them, but I don't know why they came out with it.
Like protection for your skin?
From salt in the salt water?
To keep the sheets off, but they actually used to have them in bamboo. So the sheets would roll over top of these and it would spin.
Right.
Then they come up with these plastic ones and they don't spin. But what they do is, one of the metallurgy classes we attended to, the guy says that it starves the stainless steel from oxygen and makes it brittle. So therefore you want to take them off, wire brush them. Like I said, the turnbuckles look good. And the decks don't look distorted. I don't see any movement in that. But see, this is all, look at this right here, and you can actually see how it's opening up here. See that?
Instead of being closed and tight?
Yeah, well, look up here. There's a difference when you get up further.
Yeah, I see.
But
yeah.
I get ample adjustment. You got to pull this and rebed this right here with the polysulfide. It's never been done to this boat. None of this has ever been pulled here. So keep in mind the caulking wears out. Stuff they have for plastic, you might be able to bring this plexiglass around with some cleaner like they use for motorcycle windows,
right,
windshields and stuff like that. Yeah, that might be able to come around. But I mean, it's not leaking, it's secured, it's the age of the boat. Again, we're not trying to make an old boat into a new one. And when I got first started in this business, I worked for a Pearson dealer, and this old guy I worked for told me, he says, whenever you have flathead screws, they should always go either fore and aft or port and starboard. So traditionally, these screws heads should be turned fore and aft and not be up and down. What snatch block is?
No, I probably would recognize if I saw it.
It opens up on the side, so you know, instead of me pulling the line through there, I could have just opened it up on the side, through the line, and shut it, and been on my way.
Right.
But that's
rigging hardware.
Well, your hardware, your sails, your turning blocks. Excuse me. I mean, all this stuff should be replaced. I mean, it's original equipment.
You mean the sheets or this?
This block right here, these blocks right here.
Oh, really?
You can pull them out. Now, the other thing you can do is take them off here, put turning blocks right here, and shoot it back to the cockpit so you don't have to be up here on the deck and work this.
Right.
Oh, right.
And that would be so much better. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to take the mast down. And this right here,
the compression post?
Well, not the compression post. This is the top here.
Right.
And what happens is one of the pressure points of the boat, when this thing's laying over, this is working, because we have two different composites working against it, just like the keel.
Right.
All right, and you can see this has never been done. This is all original caulking here, and you see there's no elasticity to it whatsoever.
Right.
So I'll put the moisture meter, we'll check for moisture. But again, at some point, there's going to be a lot to do with this boat because it's an old boat.
Right.
All right, so I mean, but again, you're not paying $250,000 for it.
Right.
All right, so keep that in mind. But all this stuff, anything that goes through into the deck needs to be pulled and rebedded with polysulfide compound.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. You do have room for a windlass up here. You can get a manual one or you can get an electric one.
What do you recommend for as far
Well, you know what? I like to go simple.
as? Yeah.
I like to keep everything simple. And oh, this reel was bent. Looks like he kissed the piling on it. On my 50-foot schooner, I had a manual windlass. So if you're going to use all change, I would get electric windlass. If you're going to use a combination of rope and chain, well, it's going to be really up to you guys. I like to keep it simple, no stress on my batteries. What they done was they actually hooked the unit up to the engine, so it unless the engine's running, the 12-volt windlass doesn't work. So you can't run your batteries down using the windlass to run it up. Depends what your budget is. You might want to just start off with a manual one. Go down to Bacon Sales. I should get a cut out from these guys. But it's the only place I know it sells used, and it's close, so you can go there. You don't have to ship it or whatever.
I think I actually wrote that down already.
And pick them up. But I would seriously suggest a windlass of some sort.
Okay.
And then run a spigot up here with a hose just for a raw water pump, and install a raw water pump so you can hose the chain down, because the chain holds mud.
Yeah.
So you end up with a whole bunch of mud in here. And I'm going to say this is probably rotted. That's what bad sounds like.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just put the moisture meter on there and show you then. All right?
Okay.
Okay, we'll come back to this later.
This is a single lever control. In order to, as soon as you get past neutral, you're in gear. So what you need to do when you are, when you want to start the engine and give it fuel, is you push that button in like that.
Right.
And you push it forward.
Buttons in. It's pushed forward. Okay.
It's pushed forward and it's out of gear, so we're not
Right.
in gear.
Okay.
That doesn't sound right.
Hit the glow plugs. Turn the button over for the glow plugs. Key over that activates the plugs.
Okay, well, let's see.
You got some fuel up on her?
Yeah. You're right. There we go.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
That's right.
So explain that again to me.
Well, the glow plugs, you have to activate the glow plugs. You have to get the thing started with glow plugs, because it's cold start. Yamahas are like high compression, so you don't have glow plugs. But like Universals and these engines, you have to have get the glow plugs warmed up.
And you warm them up by just turning the key a certain
Turn
way?
the key over, that usually warms them up.
Right, okay.
Give us some fuel. There you go. Now the other thing we want to do is check the exhaust.
Yeah.
And see what color exhaust we have. So that all looks pretty good.
Unplug from the shore side first.
Yeah, so you're not dropping, there's no chance of dropping in the water.
So keeping the green on my left.
That's correct.
Two things happened. It wrapped around up there, and it.
Was it partly because it's so old and it was too stretchy?
No,
and it
no,
didn't,
no.
so
What
that's why it
happened when he
wrapped,
put
or?
the sail on? He didn't pull it up all the way. So when I started wrapping the thing up, the halyard wrapped around up there. So that stopped everything.
Yeah.
And then it backlashed here. So even when I got the backlash out, I couldn't do anything with it because it was stuck up there. So my next thing, if this didn't work, which it didn't work, was to go back out, pull the whole sail all the way out, and then try to get it yanked all the way up and try it all over again. But, you know, we got it. We did the best we could with it.
Right.
There's nothing else we could have done with that. Get rid of it.
So it needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
It's useless.
I prefer, and this is my preference, all right? I prefer a twin forestay. So if I have a general up, I can run a jib up inside the general and never go to wind. Then drop the general down behind the jib, lash it to the deck and keep going. Furling systems tend to fail. Now, they have some better furling systems, Profoil and so forth. Harkin is a good one. But like I said, I used to do deliveries. And I can honestly say I've never had a furling system that didn't fail. We were bringing a 26-foot CNC up across the Albemarle Sounds in a gale force wind, and the furling system left go. She went over. We had about a foot of water in the boat. We had to run all the way back to Belhaven to dry out. I mean, it's just, and that was in December. I was coming north, not going south. So that's my personal opinion. I'm not, you know,
Sure.
Usually old lazy people like them, or, you know, people just roll them up. It is nice. But keep in mind, you're using that particular ounce of Dacron in all wind conditions.
Yeah.
So if you have a smaller jib that you can put up, like, you know, like a working jib or a 100 or something like that, you just run it up on the other side of the forestay.
Right.
All right, and get it. There's a rigger up there where we are up in Northeast, and
Okay.
Walden, I think his name is. And you talk to him about twin forestay,
Okay.
because he can set it up for you, and then you have two halyards, so you don't have this crap.
Right. I got you.
I mean, that was.
So you're hanking on the sails that you need in that
You're
for the
hanging
condition.
the sails on, and then when you got to change the sail, all you got to do is you pull the other one up inside it. So I'm running a 150, and the winds are picking up. I want to break it down to 100. I'm going to come up here, hank my 100 on, run it up, and then once I'm sailing with that, I'm going to pull the other one down. And what I would do is put a downhaul on it. So all I could do is pull it from here.
and it
So I
drops
always do everything from back there.
Right.
All right, so these guys are going to be cruising. You got to think all this stuff out. What's going to be easy for you to do? You know, if you like the idea of furling system, but if you're cruising, you do this, and this is really soft. So there's very little resin quality. It's the original sail. Look what the hanks are doing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
All right, they're all busted.
Yeah.
And what you should do is on a cruising boat, you have to, about every third one have a bronze
Yeah.
hank. So this, because when these things pop, they just keep going all the way. But the other thing is buy a full batten main. Okay? But again, try to get a full batten main because they shape so much nicer and they last a whole lot longer.